This is my DVD review of Ring of Honor Injustice. The opening matchup was El Generico versus Jack Evans, and this was a fun little opener. A lot of good back and forth action, a lot of fast-paced action in this match like you would expect from these two. Just a very fun opener, really enjoyed it. El Generico picks up the victory after hitting the top rope brainbuster, the terminal brainbuster, to Jack Evans after two Yakuza kicks in the corner in a 3-star match. Very good opener. Then after the match, you see Nigel McGuinness come out here, attack El Generico, hit him with the lariat, knock him out, which just leads to Kevin Steen coming out there, and this leads up to further build up to their match later on in the evening between them two for the ROH World title. Then the next matchup was Mitch Franklin versus Jigsaw, and this was actually the first time that actually a student other than Pelle Primeau kind of impressed me a little. It wasn't a good match. It was watchable, decent at best. But Mitch Franklin looked like in this match he actually had a little promise and a little potential, if they use him a little more in the future. And it seemed like he was actually a decent student. And I've seen other stuff from him. Haven't been impressed until I saw this match. Jigsaw did some good stuff. And this was, just put over Jigsaw. Jigsaw wins after hitting the Jig and Tonic in a 1.5-star match. Then up next was Sweet and Sour Incorporated of Chris Hero and Eddie Edwards versus Erick Stevens and Pelle Primeau. And I was expecting this match to be a whole lot better than what it was. It wasn't a bad match per se, but I was expecting a whole lot more from it. I was really looking forward to seeing Erick Stevens and Eddie Edwards going against each other, which you really didn't get that much in this match. A lot of this match was Chris Hero and Eddie Edwards double teaming onto Eddie Edwards. A lot of back and forth tags. You saw Erick Stevens get involved in the match. You saw some good stuff between Erick Stevens and Chris Hero. Pelle, I do gotta say, he's not the greatest, but he's one of those guys that does a good job of selling maneuvers from whoever he's taking on and makes them look even more believable than what they are. So that's the one good thing I do gotta say about him. Erick Stevens, I was hoping, like I said, him and Eddie Edwards would get taking on each other for a little bit. Really didn't get it, so that kind of hurt the match in my opinion. And then you see Chris Hero win after hitting the knockout forearm to Pelle Primeau in a 2 1/4-star match. Match I was expecting a little more from. Then up next was Brent Albright versus Delirious. And this was the first time these two took on each other since the Hangman's 3 versus, I guess you would say, Delirious, Steen and Generico feud. This was the first time I would say that these two against each other actually delivered a good overall match, a pretty enjoyable match. You saw a lot of good, powerful stuff from Brent Albright using his power maneuvers. You saw Delirious do a little comical stuff. A lot of good back and forth action. Really enjoyed the match. A whole lot better than what I was even expecting. Albright wins after Delirious taps out from the crowbar in a 3-star match. A whole lot better than what I was expecting in a very enjoyable match. Then up next was Necro Butcher versus Roderick Strong in a no DQ match. And this match was pretty good. I was expecting a little more from it, but actually no. I can cut that out. Let's see. When's after? Okay. Up next was Necro Butcher versus Roderick Strong in a no DQ match. This was a good match. A lot of good hardcore stuff. A lot of good brawling with these two. A lot of good stiff shots back and forth. Stiff chops from Roderick Strong like always. Stiff punches from Necro Butcher. A lot of good brawling around the arena, outside the ring, and just a good thing. Good match. This match ended very good. It ended with Erick Stevens coming out there interfering. After Erick Stevens interferes, Necro wins by powerbombing Strong through a table. Then Necro covers him for the win. So it was definitely a good match. Definitely a good no DQ match. A lot of good brawling in a 3.5-star match. Then up next was Kota Ibushi versus Claudio Castagnoli. And this was a fun little match. Really good back and forth action. Really would like to see Kota Ibushi in Ring of Honor more frequently. He's definitely one of those stars from Japan I like a whole lot. And he's definitely, from the matches in Ring of Honor, from this one and the night before, he definitely has delivered very good matches. And probably this night, I would say, this was definitely, the best match of the night, just like he was the night before. A lot of good back and forth stuff. A lot of good stuff from Claudio playing the big man role versus, the smaller athlete. And Kota Ibushi. He got in a lot of good maneuvers, a lot of good wrestling in this match, a lot of good aerial stuff from Kota Ibushi. Just a very enjoyable match. 4-star match. Claudio wins after hitting the Ricola bomb. Then the next thing was, after this match, you see, this is basically, a segment. You see Tammy Cinch come out here. Then you see Larry Sweeney. And this was Larry Sweeney and Tammy Cinch basically making an offer that they're going to say, Larry Sweeney was trying to say, Tammy Cinch, I need your help. Make Sarah Del Rey into the diva type and stuff like that. And Sarah Del Rey, obviously being the wrestler in her, obviously turn that down. And then you see, after this, you see Tammy Cinch and Larry Sweeney make a kind of agreement between each other. So definitely like to see where this continues, because I really, even with reading the results, I don't know if they followed up to this, at least not yet. Then up next was Kevin Steen versus Nigel McGuinness for the ROH World title. This was a very good match. A lot of good stuff between these two. Pretty much Nigel dominated a lot of the match. You saw during the match at some points, you obviously saw Kevin Steen come in there, overpower him a little. Good back and forth action. The end of it comes when Nigel McGuinness has him in a cover, and he holds onto the ropes and gets the 1, 2, 3, and Nigel wins, like that. And basically, the reason why the title of the DVD is Injustice. So definitely a good way for Nigel to keep a hold of the title. A lot of good heel tactics from Nigel in this match. A lot of good Nigel working over the crowd. Just, a very enjoyable match. 3.5 stars, even with the ending, because I thought, before that, the match was very good. And Nigel working over the crowd was good. And plus, he's a heel, so a heel is supposed to do that type of tactic to win matches from time to time. Now, I wouldn't want to see it all the time, though, especially in Ring of Honor. Probably could work it out more in WWE and TNA to have it more frequently, but Ring of Honor, it's okay to do from time to time. Then up next was the main event for the ROH World Tag Team titles between the Briscoe brothers of Jay and Mark Briscoe versus Davey Richards and Rocky Romero of the No Remorse Corps. This was a very good match. A lot of good back and forth action, a lot of good tag team wrestling in this match from both teams. These two teams, I would say, pretty much all the time, they put together very good tag matches. Not like the greatest, match of the year candidates, but pretty much, every time they wrestle, the match is very consistent and pretty much a very enjoyable match. Good back and forth action from both teams. Like I said, Briscoes end up picking up the victory and holding on to the ROH World titles for the 5th time. And it happens after Jay Briscoe pins Rocky Romero after him and Mark Briscoe hit the Springboard Doomsday device in a 3.5 to possibly a 3 3/4 star match. Overall, I would give the DVD about a 7.75. A show I would say is worth checking out, but not a show I would highly recommend going out your way to get. But it was an enjoyable watch, I gotta say. And the only other thing I want to comment on is, obviously, the Briscoes won the tag titles here, which this led up to them having to vacate the titles in May, which kind of made the title switch not that good. It made it a bad decision. I would have much preferred to have the No Remorse Corps hold on to the tag titles, and then, they were taking on Kevin Steen and Generico at the May 10th Hammerstein show, and I would have pretty much rather seen Kevin Steen and Generico pick up the victory and hold on to the tag titles. But I kind of can understand why they didn't do that quite yet, because they're building up. Kevin Steen says, by the end of 2008, I'm definitely going to be holding on to ROH Gold. So probably to build that up more, it kind of makes sense, I guess, up until, until probably November, December. Wait till then, until he either, holds the ROH World title, which I highly doubt he will. But I definitely expect him and Generico by the end of the year to hold on to the ROH World Tag Team titles. And, yeah, that's it. Peace.